Good evening. Ready for my Live with Tony Friday afternoon, evening. The day of the week has flown by. The good news is I've done my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday Live with Tony's, and it's been a busy week between helping the love of my life go through her getting ready for hip replacement and dealing with work issues and meetings and Zooms. Keeping up to date with what we need to do here, getting some of her supplies that she's going to need for post-surgery. So it's Friday, 5:30 already. It's been a rapid fire week, and in the middle of all this, we had several fantastic phone calls. One with our college that is now giving us a confirmation that they will be sending a group of students to do a live filming and capturing of events that we're doing on October 23rd, and they will be visiting the facility next week to begin to lay out their plans and setting up cameras and microphones and lighting. Exciting, really, really terrific. And follow that up with a call last evening with our finalists that are competing in the live championship on October the 23rd at the town center at the Rosen Square, or the town center at the Rosen Community Center in Orlando, Florida. So exciting conversation we had last night with our mental athletes and asking us a series of questions, and we have several people who have competed in the memory championship in the past, and we have a group of new people that have not competed in the memory championship in the past. And so it made for a really lively, fun Zoom call last evening in the 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock hour, and captured a number of great questions. And through our third meeting I had this week, which I just finished up a few minutes ago, with my memory team, with Lumosity and MIT and my team members, another fantastic call as we are moving along. October 23rd will get to us faster than we know it. We had today, we had to answer the questions we got raised yesterday. To sit for our words to remember. And we'll have 300 words that in that event, but so they'll get to pick where they want to sit. And we had a great conversation over the strategy of where you get to where you seat yourself and get to sit. And so that was Jamie from MIT is like the mathematical genius on this in terms of what is the strategy in terms people, and it may be 13. We're waiting for a couple of confirmed responses. But what our goal is to get through the afternoon and get to our last event, which is what we call double deck or bust, meaning we shuffle 2 decks of cards together, and we want to be in that event with 3 people, so that we start the day off with the whole group, and then we run through the Lumosity event, and then our second event, which would be Words to Remember. And so we then carry a significant number of people into the third event, and then to the fourth, and ultimately the fifth. So that was our call. And then if any of you have played with us in the past, we have an event called Tea Party, 3 strikes you're out. We have how many words can you miss, and the words to remember, how many long-term memory questions. So we had a discussion tonight on, so what would the categories be? And what we wanted to do is have a science one, since terms of science. So we decided, okay, what's the science event that we're going to bring forward? And then arts, so what would we do that would fit in the world of the arts and liberal arts to that degree? And then third, what would be a sporting event that we would capture and provide information out in terms of long-term. So we need to get that all together, and what we committed to the mental athletes is that we will get you all of that information on spreadsheets by September the 22nd, 23rd. So we're going to give them 30 days before, so it'll be on September 22nd that they'll get that information that they will then have to study in terms of preparing to come to Orlando for October the 23rd. So we got agreement on the categories, we got agreement today on the sequencing, and we will be sharing all of that information with our mental athletes on our next call, which will be not this coming Sunday, but will be at 10 a.m. on the Sunday past. So what is that going to be? 25. So that's going to be 26, 27, 28, 29. I think that should be August the 29th, which would be a Sunday if I've got my days and times correct. So in any case, we'll be reviewing those events and picking up some more questions. And obviously one of the concerns that we spent quite a bit of time on is the safety for all of our mental athletes, and wanting to ensure that everyone that's coming to the town center is in a safe environment and follows protocols that have been established at the center in terms of maintaining the best well-to-do safety issues that people entering their buildings. It's going to be obviously vaccines and masks, and we certainly have a couple of months before we get to the big day. So we watch this. We've got people watching this from the east. We've got people watching it from the south, and certainly I watch it living in Florida as to what are the most optimal safety precautions that we need to be a part of, because as much as we're excited about hosting and having the event and where we're hosting it and having it, we want everybody to feel safe in the process, and how that comes out and how that goes along, with each and every individual having a responsibility, as well as all of our team members and any crew of people that come in from the media, etc. Lots of conversation, and I always say this to people. I don't think anyone, when we see how seamless our event usually runs, and they like, wow, this was fantastic. I'm not sure if people ever appreciate the amount of time and hours and efforts that go into how we put together a memory championship. But we're on our way. We're processing forward. We're talking to all the right people. And the only big question that is left open to resolve is, are we going to have, other than family members or guests of our mental athletes, are we going to open this up to the public? And I've got to make a couple of phone calls on that over the next week or so, and see if we can pull that one down. So next Thursday, the college media crew will be coming in and take a look at how they want to set things up and getting their work projects together and what the events will be, etc. We've got arrangements to finalize with the town center in Orlando, and we've got a call, as I've said, next Sunday with all of the finalists and getting their final commitments in terms of the memory championship. So that's where we are at this point. I think that's what I wanted to cover on my broadcast tonight. I clearly will be back. So for next week, I plan to be back on Monday and possibly Tuesday. I will not be here on Wednesday next week. I will be, hopefully it falls well, in a recovery room. So I will not be doing my Wednesday Live with Tony, but I shall be back on Friday, since recovery may be a couple of nights, and so not going to plan for Thursday, but you'll see me on Monday for sure, and back in on Friday for next week for sure. So have a good weekend. Continue to be safe. Pay attention to the safety protocols. Try to stay up to date, though. I know the science sometimes bounces around and changes, and it can drive us all a little bit crazy, but the ultimate goal is to be smart and be safe and let's all get to the other side of COVID. If anyone has any questions at this point that are relevant to any of the things that I've been talking about this week, please send me an email. I'm always open to that. And I like it to come to my personal email, which is adottino@aol.com. That's adottino@aol.com. And just put in the subject line, Live with Tony broadcast, and I'll know enough to pay attention to it. But until we meet again, the world is moving about us. It's exciting in terms of what we're doing in the world of memory. And I think it's a hot topic. There's an endless stream of literature that's constantly coming out that I'm referring to. And this week's broadcast, I had the one that I did earlier this week on 10 more, another science report saying here are the 10 things you should be doing to maintain your health. And if you haven't heard that, I strongly suggest you go back and listen to it. I did it quick. I summarized the 10 quickly. And I've gotten some really nice feedback on it from some people that actually have heard it, and they actually have talked to me about it. So it was nice to get that feedback to say, wow, these are some really great tips and some things that we can do one at a time. So we'll see you next week, Monday evening. Stay well and enjoy your weekend.